Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 29 of GOAT Talk. I'm your host, Alonso. And we just had a pretty big game in the Concacaf. We had Mexico lose 3-2 in the final of the Concacaf Nations League. How do you feel?
Dude, I'm pissed, bro. I mean, you probably already know this, but everybody listening, dude, I'm not gonna do. I don't know. You told me to relax, dude. Say this shit with calm. You know what? I'm gonna keep my cool because I don't give a fuck no more. But I just gotta say one thing. Fuck Chaca Rodriguez, dude. I always say it, bro. Whenever we go over the call-ups for the Mexico games, dude, Chaca Rodriguez has always been called up, and he gets that starting right back position, dude. I don't know what Tata sees in him, dude. I don't know why the fuck he still gets called up. Mexico takes the lead 2-1 with the goal from Diego Lainez, dude. Not even 2 minutes pass by. Chaca, instead of clearing the ball, tries to control it. Dude, he kicks it. He basically rolls it into the corner and gives them a corner kick. And I'm like, bro, they're going to score this, dude, because they had so many chances USA had to score off corner kicks because for some reason, dude, they were winning all the set pieces. And I'm like, dude, this is where they're going to tie it. And they surely did. 2-2 when Weston McKennie got the header off. But, I mean, that's like what cost them the game. And I'm looking on Twitter and everybody's saying that this game should have never gone over to extra time. That mistake by Chaca was one of the shit was like what caused this. And that's basically what started it. And then you go into extra time. You have a penalty that should have never been called. People were saying it is, but I don't see where the foul is. As a defender, I saw that shit was taken cleanly. I'm not saying biasly. He took the ball cleanly, bro. He got to the ball. Yeah, he hit Pulisic, but he's going towards the ball. He's not going at the player. Dude, and then, oh, man. Yeah, okay, we get a penalty off a handball. Yay. Congrats. No, yeah, Guardado fucking misses it on a second-string QB who, for a fact, has not played a single game with his club this whole season. And, I mean, like, on the biggest stage, you can't be doing that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a really big turning point that nobody expected was when Zach Steffen got injured and Horvath had to come in. And I think I said in the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, where I feel like they could compete for the first starting position on the U.S. men's national team. I could see Horvath starting over Zach Steffen in the Gold Cup if they were both going. But yeah, I feel like it was just a lot of mistakes on both teams. I feel like Pulisic especially, I feel like he didn't really show up as much he was supposed to. But then he scored the penalty that just decided it all. It was a perfectly taken into the top right corner. I feel like he was the man to go for the penalty. And I feel like Guardado was also, I said it right before they chose somebody to take. I said, Guardado should be the one to take it. He had that one against, I think it was Panama in that Gold Cup when it was like that whole robbery situation where he fell on the ball with like his hand.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a really like high, tense match like pressure. Penalty kick that he needed to score for them to go into extra time. So I feel like Guardado has made important penalties in the past. But I don't know. I feel like it wasn't. I mean, I don't know because we're not in that situation at the time. But I mean, I give more props to Horvath than Guardado missing it because that was a really good save. I feel like Tecatito Corona, I don't know, especially since he didn't play any minutes in the games prior to this one, the reason why Tata Martino took him out so early. And because, I mean, he got that goal early on where McKenzie messed up and just gave him the ball.
And it was working because that high press that the front three were doing, it kept forcing like mistakes from the defense.
And I feel like that's where Greg Berhalter also had struggles. I feel like he should have picked that up in the game against Honduras. Where I feel like playing out from the back, it doesn't work out for the U.S. men's national team.
With
the high pressing team. No, and then with the high pressing team like Tata Martino has, especially with quick players on each wing with Antuna and Tecatito. But I don't know. I feel like Berhalter could have changed things around a little bit quicker. I'm surprised Musa didn't get any minutes. That was the thing that I was most surprised with. Timothy Weah also going in pretty late into the game. Tyler Adams also really late into the game. So I just feel like it was a lot of tactical decisions by Berhalter that ended up working in favor of him, whether he liked it or not. And especially, I think one of the biggest mistakes too is Tata Martino having Chucky play 9.
Mm-hmm. After saying that, because I guess a reporter asked him, "Oh, why you guys don't have a 9?" And then Tata said, "Oh, that's disrespectful. We have Henry Martin and Pulido." But then literally like a couple of days later, you don't start either of them, and then you put Chucky in a position he's played before with Napoli and with Mexico. But it's not the best position for him, especially with teams with really tall center backs like Brooks and Ream that U.S. men's national team has. Mm-hmm. Even though they were getting beat with pace every single time, but just I don't know, having your back turned to the goal
Henry Martin did it somewhat good, but also, I don't know. Henry Martin, he plays really good with America. He's one of the players who I said he should have started at 9 before this whole situation happened. But I don't know. After seeing him play in these 2 games, I don't really think he should be there. And I think for the Gold Cup, it should be Funes Mori and Chicharito.
Definitely. Pulido, I don't know why the fuck he's called up. Dude, they call him up just to warm up the bench, bro. But another thing I didn't like, dude, was said at the beginning was the defense that Tata Martino had put out on the field. We had Gallardo left back over Arteaga, who, I mean, yeah, he had a bad game against Costa Rica. But, I mean, I feel like that should be your definitive
But I feel like
back.
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
Or it wasn't
like, it wasn't like amazing. Yeah, it wasn't like what you would expect his functionality to be against a team like Costa Rica with the players that Costa Rica had on that side of the field.
And then, obviously, already said, Chaka. I mean, I would have wanted Salcedo over Chaka. At least Salcedo is more experienced, and he doesn't really get himself into problems. I feel like he's learned that from his mistakes. Like when he had that one error against America in the final with Tigres where he didn't clear it out. Kind of similar to Chaka. But, I mean, he loses it there and commits a penalty. And, I mean, I feel like Salcedo over time has kind of learned that, like, not to really play in the back. And, I mean, that's something Chaka needs to, like, realize that in those types of scenarios, especially when they're pressing high, don't try to control it, especially if you have enough space to at least just boot it out. Like, dude, that's what you should be doing instead. But, I mean, like you said, the whole 9 thing, like, exactly. I don't know why Chicharito, who was the leading goal scorer in the MLS, is not being called up for, and these are official matches. They count. They're not amistosos. Si fuera amistoso, okay, yeah, maybe he wants to try out Martin and Pulido. But, I mean, a game of, like, a tournament of this caliber and, like, the importance that it has, even though it's, like, the first time that Concacaf does this, like, you should still put out all your cards on the table. And if that means that Chicharito had a bad season last year, okay, well, we're basing it off this season. And he's probably the best striker right now. Mexican striker besides Raul Jimenez, who obviously can't play because of injury.
And the thing is, too, I feel like Tata Martino I feel like with his type of experience, having coached teams, even national teams, he's coached Paraguay, he coached Argentina, and he's coached, obviously, Barcelona. The way he waits to make subs.
Like he waited until
the 78th minute to take out Uriel Antuna for Diego Lainez. Well, Antuna wasn't really having a really good game. He was winning balls sometimes, but it wasn't just, I don't know, I just feel like the transitions weren't there. And Diego Lainez, who ended up scoring right away after he went in, he just changed the pace of the game. I think he scored like a minute after he went in. And so those things you got to, like, as a head coach of a national team as important as Mexico is, and the CONCACAF, and how crucial these games are, I feel like you got to have better conversations with your staff of when subs need to be made.
Yeah, and I mean, Diego Lainez, like you said, since Chucky was playing 9, Diego Lainez should have started. If we're looking at in the future, when he has an actual 9 like Chicharito and Raul Jimenez, putting Chucky either right wing or left wing, and Tacatito, on one side too. I'd still rather put Diego Lainez as a second option if he wants to make a sub on the wings, and then maybe Antuna as a third choice. I don't know. I feel like he had that CONCACAF in 2019. I feel like that was the best version we could see of him, but also, like, it was his first time, so maybe, he was playing extra hard. But I don't know, these past few amistosos, like, he hasn't looked the same, like, as he did since then. And I don't know if he puts him because of his speed, because, I mean, it works, but when it comes to one-on-one, he can't really dribble past a defender or, shake somebody as the same as Lainez, who's a little bit more quicker and may be able to balance through situations where people are probably putting feet in. But I mean, that's just my opinion on, going forward after this match.
And I feel like this game really, the rivalry never ended, but I feel like this just added a lot more fire to that rivalry that Mexico and USA should have. I feel like every time they play each other, this is how the game should be played. It was high intensity from the first minute. We had that goal early on. I feel like that also set the tempo really well. But these are how games are supposed to be played. I feel like with the amount of talent that each team have, the youth that each team has, they should be able to play intense every minute of the game. And I feel like this Concacaf Nations League Final is going to really set up a really important match. I think they're going to have another really good game in the Gold Cup because I think both teams are going to advance, be it maybe semifinals or finals in that upcoming tournament that starts pretty soon.
I gotta wait a whole last month. Hear all these USA fans on social media talking all that shit, dude.
And I feel like it's really good for the U.S. men's national team because I feel like they needed this win. Like they really needed this win, especially with all the talk of all their players who had Christian Pulisic, their captain, who just won the Champions League. Zach Steffen won the Premier League. Just all these championships. Tim Weah with Lille, but it's just a lot of stuff going on with the U.S. men's national team in like mainstream media where they needed a win like this.
Yeah, and I mean, Tata is, instead of trying to find like still positioning, I feel like at this point of his tenure at Mexico, he should already have an idea of, okay, this is who I'm gonna call up consistently. I'm gonna stick to this starting lineup moving forward, going into the qualifiers, Copa Oro. I'm going into the World Cup. Like, just stay with like what you have, bro. And if I don't know if he's still wanted like using Chaka to still test it out, but I mean, I don't see him having I don't know why he should even have a position in this shit. Like, he shouldn't be being called up like that. I will take Salcedo. I'll take freaking if you want to play Guardado, right, dude, put freaking Arteaga. If you don't want to start Salcedo, bro, dude. But Chaka should not have a freaking starting spot, let alone a roster spot.
And I feel like ever since Layun was at his peak, we haven't really had a set right back.
Or Paulo Aguilar, too.
But that was a little bit before, I think, because after the 7-0 match against Chile, that's when Paulo Aguilar started like not getting caught up. But ever since like Layun, we haven't had that like every single game, every single call up.
He's the right back.
The right back, yeah.
And I feel like that's where he's struggling most to find is a right back. Yeah. But I mean, Salcedo has shown that he can play right back. And I mean, if you're still struggling, like, just stick with Salcedo then. If you're gonna have Moreno in the back, I mean, I guess Araujo is your center back. It looks like that's, the way that he's going is going Araujo in center back. Well, he had an all right game. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great. Moreno and Araujo were the ones most of the time getting beat on those set pieces. That goal with Weston McKennie, Gallardo completely left McKennie wide open to hop over him and just headed that into the post.
And the thing is, too, like, the three people who scored for the U.S. men's national team are, like, the three people who are supposed to, like, not carry, but, like, are supposed to be that next generation of, like, phenomena of U.S. men's national teams players. It was Gio Reyna, Pulisic, and Weston McKennie who scored, who all play on really top teams in Europe. So that's also another thing to point out is just the people who should show up for the U.S. men's national team showed up. And for Mexico, I don't know, I feel like certain players in the defense, certain people in the mid.
I mean, Charlie had a good game.
Yeah, but
surprisingly, but
I don't know, just certain situations in the game where I feel like Charlie was one of those people who were sacrificed to bring in another midfielder.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I feel like they gotta work on them because those two goals, besides the Pulisic penalty, the two goals came off set pieces. They were corner kicks. Gio Reyna's goal, I mean, it came off a corner kick. Yeah, it hit the post, and he deflected and kicked it back in. But I mean, they came off corner kicks.
And I mean, in the post game conference, Tata Martino said that he's happy with how he left the group, and he feels like there's a lot they can give still moving forward.
Yeah, hopefully not Chaka. I don't want to see him. I don't want to do it. I don't want to see him for the Copa Oro, bro.
But I feel like they should keep that line of three that they played against Costa Rica. I feel like especially with the teams that they're playing in the Gold Cup. Dude, if
they don't win the Gold Cup, bro, dude, I'm telling you this right now. I'm not going to Mexico game for the next year, bro. For a whole year, I'm not gonna go to a Mexico game. I don't care if they play USA here. I'm not going.
Y'all smell that cap?
Heck no. Bookmark that shit. Save it. Timestamp that. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, but I mean, even Horvath too. Another quote from the post-game conference. He said that we are a brotherhood and they have each other's back. And I feel like they could see that, especially after he saved that penalty. It seemed how they were all like united as a group. All of the goals they scored, they celebrated as a team. So I feel like even moving forward, also Tyler Adams, he was telling Gio Reyna after the game too, is like the first of many in terms of trophies for the U.S. men's national team. So this is just a lot of like just work in progress that they need to reach that level of respect that they've lost in recent years in the Concacaf.
I mean, I don't know. Had Chaka not done that, we wouldn't even be here complaining about this game, about Mexico, losing. But I mean, I don't know. Tata, I guess you know what you're doing, but I don't know what the fuck you see in him.
So, I don't know, just moving forward, Mexico's next game is against Honduras.
Was it friendly?
A friendly on the 11th. Of
course, yeah.
So, hopefully that's going to be...
Probably is, huh?
I think it's going to call up another list, and then that's going to be... Because that's basically a friendly for the Gold Cup.
Who wants to bet that Chaka's going to be on that list?
I mean, maybe. And then for the U.S. men's national team, they're gonna play Costa Rica on the 9th.
So they're okay. Yeah, they're ready. They're preparing themselves for that Concacaf type tournament. You know.
Yeah, they're just playing
matches.
teams from the same zone. So we'll see how those teams go. But it was a really good game. I was satisfied in the terms of Concacaf, not level, because I feel like both teams needed to work on a lot. I feel like just transition wise, knowing when to pressure, knowing when to give out the ball. I feel like it was just really poor on both teams, but the intensity is what I liked.
Yeah, this game wasn't really about who played better. It's about who capitalized on their mistakes.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and that's usually what soccer is. It's whoever makes the less mistakes is one who comes up on top.
Chaka, Guardado. Not naming names, kind of am.
But that's all the time we got for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.